Unpopular opinion, y'all might not like this video. A lot of y'all ladies are single because you have a modern day feminist mindset, but you still crave traditional benefits. On one hand, y'all would say that y'all are strong, independent. You work hard, you have your own money. You don't need a man. But then you get in a relationship with that man who's also making his own money, but he needs to pay all the bills and you get to keep your money. But now let's say that man agrees to that. Even though you make your own money, he decides to pay all the bills so you can keep yours. And he tells you, hey, since I'm paying all the bills, make sure when I come home, I have a home-cooked meal and the house is cleaned. You're gonna look at him and tell him that you're not a maid, you're not a house slave, that this is not 1965. Who does he think you are? The way how some of y'all look at relationships and dating these days, it's sort of like you're standing on the fence. Some of y'all pick and choose what side of the fence you want to be on, but only when it benefits you. I'm not telling you which one to pick, but you have to pick one.
Like when you mean kitchen, do you mean like they need to take care of the house? Do they need to do all those jobs, like take care of the children and just do that?
Yes, my position is women should be prioritizing a family and children over a career and being a...
Yes. So you're saying all women are...
A significant amount, yes. A lot of women are pretty promiscuous, so...
And not men. The men right here, half of them are dogs.
Well, the difference is that...
So men are allowed to be dogs, but women can't be... Where's the logic?
Yeah, women look for quality. Men look for quantity. So a woman is looking for the best guy that she can get and get a long-term commitment from that man. A man is looking for attractive women and having as many of them as he can. So, in other words, a man that's having a lot of women has to bring value, versus a woman that's having a lot of dudes does not have to bring value.
The new generation, if you don't get with the new generation, like, it doesn't work.
The new generation is cooked, is what I'm trying to explain to you. A woman can be 21 years old, be a bum, and still meet a millionaire. Versus a man needs to have money and status and bring something to the table to be able to attract women. We are not the same. Women are born with value. Men must create value.
You're generalizing. If I was a rich woman, which I'm actually working for that right now, like, I would totally take in a man who doesn't have as much money. If I could provide, I would... I'm not doing anything. A whore is a girl who does things with guys. I'm white.
He's on OnlyFans. This comedy.
Hate on me, but actually, at the end of the day, at least I'm making great money. If he can take care of my children for me, I would do it.
Yeah, okay.
Whilst I'm at work.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen. Like most women do not winners for their husband where he's a stay-at-home dad. Never works out. Realistically speaking, you're going to lose respect for him, you're going to lose attraction for him, and you're going to cheat on him. It's not going to work. It doesn't work when women behave like men or when men behave like women.
I just feel like it's just putting so much stress on men at the end of the day, because all these men are like, okay, now I have to be...
Because we're superior to you guys, so we can handle it. That's my point.
You can't. They all are literally making less money than I am today. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm just saying, like, a woman can make just as much money as men.
Sure.
The poor men, stressed out, they have to pay for the dates, they have to pay for this, they have to pay for that. Poor men. They don't deserve that. Like,
look, women can make their money. What I'm saying is that women make money. It's not the same as when a man makes money. When a man makes money, he says, okay, I can take care of a girl and a family. When a woman makes money, what does she say? I'm independent. Ask yourself, independent of whom? Independent of a man. When women make money, they look at it like, I don't need a man anymore. When a man makes money, it's like, okay, now a woman can need me. We are not the same when we make money.
What's going on, fellas? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Let's get back to the video.
I'm trying to get my coochie scratched. I'm trying to get my coochie scratched and eat a nigga. We be eating nigga today in London. Period.
No, she belongs to the streets.
We went to the auntie and aqua clubs, and they're running around. The aunties is running around.
Yes, they're giving it out too.
I feel like those are maybe the ones who time has ran out too, maybe.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're just like trying. They're competing with women our age, you know?
So do you think it's age, like they should settle at a certain age, or do you think that...
I mean, I'm sure some women who time run out and they looks run out, they have to.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of men telling me, oh, well, you know, you hardcore. Yes, I am. Oh, well, what you bringing to the table? I am the table. I'm not submissive.
Could you be a trad wife is what I'm asking.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
Because that's not who the I am. And my daddy didn't raise me like that.
To be a trad wife.
To be anybody's wife. My dad used to literally say that to me. I didn't raise you to be somebody's wife. Most of the people that I know that's gotten married are divorced now. I think marriage is legalized slavery.
So there are young people watching who might be wanting to get married. What would you say to them?
Don't. I don't understand why you wouldn't want a woman like me. I am successful. I'm rich. I can fight. We don't have all of that. Yeah. Oh, you're in your masculine area. Well, why don't you get in yours?
The bad news is Leslie Jones will never be married. Never. But the good news is she has impeccably executed her father's vision for her life. What we're witnessing is the demagnetization of male attraction. And although our good sis Leslie displays an extreme version of this, you can find fragments of this mindset in a lot of modern day women. And here's my underlying issue with that. Leslie is in her 60s, I believe. Yet you're trying to cast a pernicious effect on eligible younger women who can get the man they want by discouraging them from marriage. In one breath, she's boasting and bragging about maintaining qualities that are less than desirable to men. Then in the other breath, she's wondering why she can't find a man. Now, I don't know when male and female propensity became such an esoteric topic. Like even the most rudimentary understanding of what men are attracted to seems to be a conundrum these days for women. So I'm gonna go ahead and help you out. Anytime a woman leads with her money, her accomplishments, or her success, you are no longer fit to be a wife. Your money and accomplishments is not what attracts a man to you on an intrinsic level. Your softness, your kindness, your cooperation, your warmth does. Not possessing a masculine tilt. And a lot of women like to traffic the fallacy that, oh, well, men are intimidated by my success. Men are intimidated by a boss chick. No, the not. We're not intimidated. We're turned off. You can't lead with the thing that we're intrinsically leading with. There has to be some sense of polarity. The minute a woman starts trying to compete with a man, chemistry leaves the room and it starts to feel more like rivalry than romance. Romantic attraction grows when partners bring different yet complementary qualities to the relationship. Masculine energy cancels masculine attraction. It's that simple. See, the truth is the side effect of scaling a corporate ladder and attaining success is you develop a masculine tilt. And men are looking for polarity, not a woman mirroring the same qualities as him, even if it's not as extreme as what we just saw here. Your attitude can disrupt his efficacy. A thinking man understands that, so he's not going to choose you to pair bond with and create a legacy with. Hear me out. Come a little closer. Yes, marriage isn't for everybody. And one can make an argument that women can be happy and can live without a man. But you can also be happy and live without your left leg. But I wouldn't advise you to cut that off either over a sprained ankle, just like I wouldn't advise you to amputate yourself romantically from your counterpart just because you've had a few bad relationships. Men and women need one another. Without that rudimentary understanding, we would perish. So before you young women listen to women that's well over the hill tell you not to get married, ask yourself, do you want to share their desired outcome?
A lot of these modern women be saying, oh, well, man don't have to compete with other men. He has to compete with me. He has to compete with my peace. Well, unfortunately for you modern women, y'all's peace is actually chaos. It's drama. You're a terrible person. You have terrible behaviors. And so what he's actually competing with or what he's actually trying to match is chaos. And most men don't like chaos. They like peace. So no. I won't be matching that.
So we're all rewatching The City right now since it's on Netflix. And I was just thinking to myself, man, dating in the 90s and early 2000s was just so much easier because people actually talked to each other. People were out and about. Like there was never any like remote work. People didn't like self-isolate. Like you had to be out in the world. And then right as I was thinking that, and I was like, man, if I'd been dating then, it'd be so easy. The thought popped in my head of like, what if in the 90s or early 2000s, I was dating a guy that was a Republican, which back then was respectable, I think. As I have mentioned before, I used to be a Republican before Trump entered the scene. And I was just thinking about like, I would now be married potentially to a man that used to be like a George W. Bush Republican that then became a MAGA. And then quickly I was like, thank God I am dating in the year 2026 and I didn't accidentally marry a man that became MAGA later on because that would just be very devastating. So grass is always greener. I think we've got it good now because we can go into whatever situation eyes wide open.
I have $1,000 question. Where are the men? I'm not just talking about any old man. Where are the men that open doors? Where are the men that make sure that their woman is safely in the car before they walk around and climb into the driver's side? Where are the men? Because I haven't seen y'all in a long time. Now, perhaps it could be because I have been in Morocco for the past 2 years and I don't know, chivalry must be or something. I just want to know, where are the men? And come to think of it, I remember there was a time I went out with someone in Morocco and I'm standing at the car door and they're click, 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 unlocking the door. And they proceed to walk over to the driver's side of the car and he goes, the door is open. And I go, no, it's not. And he hits the alarm again. And he goes, Tina, the door is open. And I'm like, no, the door is not open. The door is unlocked, but the door is not open. So, the door is not open. So he walks around to the car, to my side of the car, and he opens the door and he goes, thank you for reminding me of that. Man, I shouldn't have to remind you of common courtesy to open the door for a lady. You should have already known that. Now, if I gotta teach you that, there's a problem. That means there's other things I gotta teach you, and I don't got the time, energy, nor patience. So, $1,000 question is, where are the men? Show up. Treat a woman like a woman. Because I'm a woman, not a girl. I'm just saying.
A lot of these modern women don't know how to communicate. They say they want a man that communicates well, emotionally intelligent, the whole 9 yards. But then they be out here giving the man the silent treatment. Oh, I just need space. That space they be asking for, oh, just give me space. Well, when is it that I can talk to you? It'd be a week that she be acting like that. And y'all don't understand, when y'all do that type of stuff, y'all throw y'all a little fit, then that man say, okay, she needs space. I'm just going to go ahead and give her space. I'm going to go ahead and move my stuff out, find me an apartment across town. I'm not going to give her the address. I'm going to change my phone number. And she can have all the space that she needs.
Have you ever thought of putting on some clothes or no?
So that got really fucked up.
You're like 75% naked right now.
I am not.
You 100% are. With your dad?
I'm my dad.
Let me guess. You don't have a good relationship with him.
Bro, stop.
Hell no. What's she disrespecting herself? Anyways, we're crossing the chicken cross. Cash out. Let's go. I'm gonna get pissed.
For no reason.
She's disrespecting herself.
No,
why are you white knighting?
I go stick her cameraman with it.
Do it.
Ladies, the results are in. Fresno has the most chivalrous men in California. And see, I always knew this, because Fresno men, we're real respectful. We'll open up the doors for y'all, and no, we won't check you out from behind. No, we won't holler at you like, girl, look at all that. Let me get at you real quick. Nah, that's not us. And when we take you out on the first date, we'll never invite you back to the house. Because we don't have a house to invite you to. You better invite us over to your house. Unless you want to chill in the car, I'll bring out the air fresheners. We'll have a grand time. And when it's winter time, it's cold outside, we'll let you use our coats to let other dudes know that you're ours. Like, don't look at my girl, bro. You see her? She got my sweater on. I mean, because you're shivering, and we're chivalrous. Also, we're real progressive. We believe in strong, independent women that pay for their own meals. You got this, baby. You got us, baby. I believe in you. So, California women out there, if you're tired of dealing with the knuckleheads in your town, change your dating location to Fresno, California to find you a true gentleman, baby. Can I spell chivalrous? C-H.
In some relationships, like if you're mad about something, and it's like, if you've done something wrong, then she has the right to be mad. But if she's done something wrong and you're mad, you being mad makes her feel bad, and now she's mad.
Yeah, but that's just a manipulative conversation tactic, and guys need to stop falling for that shit.
Yeah.
That's just a distraction.
Uh-huh.
And it works. But just don't fall for that shit, guys. And then they'll squirm for some other kind of distraction to get out of the hot seat. But I mean, I personally think that no one should yell at anybody, even if they up. Like, let's be, we expect that the police are going to knock calmly on the murderer's door with a warrant and take him off to jail and not beat him up and put him on a fair trial. Why am I being yelled at? It's like, what was so bad when rapists and murderers get treated with respect? You know what I'm saying? The cops don't yell at them when they arrest them. You know what I'm saying? And they people. It's like, what have I done that's so bad that you're going to treat me with so much disrespect? It's crazy, which is why I don't tolerate that. So it's like the rule of thumb is people need to treat me with at least as much respect as they treat a stranger on a bus. And unless they're completely unhinged, they're not going to be yelling and screaming at people on the bus who are even rude or not obeying the rules or are messy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I can't recall the last time I've gotten mad at someone unless it was something that was just like a massive betrayal. And then even then, at the point that I was like, okay, I need to express anger to this person, it was like, there's no point to this. The betrayal has already happened. So it's already like the dissolution of the relationship is the clearest solution. So like, why would I waste my time yelling at them?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it's in general better to just end the relationship, especially if it's in the early stages. There's absolutely no reason to argue if you're dating. There's none. It's like there's no real responsibilities. You're not raising children. You're not sharing finances. You're probably not even that emotionally bonded with each other at that stage. There's no duty or oath or promise that you've made to each other. Just find someone you can get along with. Seriously.
Right.
Most women will wait 30 years before saying anything and then file for divorce. And the husband will say, you never said anything was wrong. And she says, I hinted for 30 years. If he loved me, he would understand me. Does not work on men. It does not. Men don't understand women. Not really. We need explicit instructions. Implicit relationships don't work. Explicit relationships are the only thing that ever will. Instead of saying, I want to feel loved, which they don't understand, right? You tell a man, I want to feel loved, and he goes, well, I've never felt loved. What makes me feel loved? Well, and time by myself and chocolate. Do you want those? They have no concept. But if a woman could say, these are two things that help me feel loved, measurable, exact targets, that man's like, oh, thank goodness. Thank you. Now I have a book for how to take care of you. If women could be measurable and if men could ask, either one, I think would be okay.
A lot of these modern women, once again, they want a man that makes six figures. But, honestly and truly, their filtering system, their vetting system is so bad that even if they got a man that makes six figures, they don't really vet for personality. They don't care about it. They'll just say, oh, his personality is going to be his money, and that's going to be enough. I can cry in a Bentley. Well, if you even get to the Bentley, there's one woman that I think her and her man, quote unquote, well, they weren't really together. They were just kind of dating at that point in time. She said, oh, yeah, he's set. Maya, you standing right there. Oh yeah, he said, I'm looking for the money or something like that, or whatever, to the effect of, he's got money and he's going to give it to me. The longer I stay with him. He said something to the effect of, if you even make it that far, didn't bat an eye, didn't flinch, didn't blink. That's what modern women are going to start going through.
Got a question for the men out there, and please, for the love of God, don't get offended, because I don't mean any harm by it. So many men wish on me. No, so many men say that they're scared of women. Okay? So many men say this. I've heard this to me about situations. What does this mean? What do men mean when they say they are scared of women? Are you actually scared of women, or are you scared of approaching them? Like, why are we scared? Like, I'm here to answer the questions that you need to have answered in the comments. I will 100% give you the honest truth about a woman or a situation that you need prevailing. Think of it as an agony aunt situation, darling. I will help, okay? Phoebe to the rescue. But seriously, why are we scared of women? Please help me answer that question, and I will answer any questions that you have. Because why are we scared? We're just petite little flowers that need a bit of love.
Do you ever wonder why guys in the church don't ask girls out? My name is Kate Warman. I'm a dating coach and a national best-selling author. Guys are not asking girls out in the church because honestly, they fear rejection just as much as us ladies do. They also oftentimes don't really want to risk getting a bad reputation in front of their entire church community. And so ladies, one thing that we can do in the church is stop talking poorly about our brothers in our church communities. Instead, we can start encouraging them, empowering them, and praying for them. Good Christian guys do exist, but if you want to find them, you should probably get online because over 50% of people are meeting online. But one thing is, don't get discouraged. Amazing Christian men do exist. The more you start really believing that, the more you'll start to see it all around you. Follow for more tips.
Gates County Sheriff's Office, North Carolina State Highway Patrol, and the Hertford County Sheriff's Office are all responding. They're asking drivers to avoid Route 13 South and Barfield Road for now. We'll let you know when the road is clear again.
Hold on, let me rewind this.
Responding. We're asking drivers to avoid Route 13 South and Barfield Road for now. We'll let you know when the road is clear again.
One of the most common comments that I get when people watch my partner shaming or watch me call out bad behavior is, "This is why I'm done with dating." And I want to address this because, shoot, I did not mean for that to be the point of this channel. Don't get me wrong, I actually think being single is great. I think people who enjoy being single actually make the best partners, but one of the biggest reasons I started the whole Womansplaining Men to Women series was as a response to all of the anti-men echo chambers that I kept finding myself stuck in. It all started to really affect my anxiety and my depression because I started honestly believing that all men were like these horror stories I was seeing online. But at the end of the day, it's just not true. And so I wanted to start poking holes in those echo chambers. So if the whole reason I started making videos was to get women to stop saying men aren't worth it, the last thing I want men's takeaway to be from my videos is women aren't worth it. Dating isn't worth it. Love isn't worth it. It is! Look, since I've started, I've made generously 500 videos. Even if every single one of those videos was about a woman engaging in bad behavior, which they're not, that's still a very marginal, tiny population that does not represent all women. I just wanted to remind you of that as you continue interneting because I was poisoned and it was not good. Do not let yourself get poisoned too.
A Christian man cussed me out this morning, and this is a man that I've been talking to. So a little bit of a backstory. We've been talking for about 2 months, and it's been very, very good. I love moving slow. 2 months is not very long to me. And we have progressed, right? Like, we've gotten to some disagreements. We've gotten over them in a mature way. We've had some conversations, phone conversations, FaceTime conversations, and the phone conversations, like a couple times we've talked for a long time. One time we almost talked for like 3 hours. We have so much in common, like even down to our childhood trauma, so many things in common, even our futures, like he's wanting to open a gym. I'm on my fitness journey. I was an athlete my whole life. So my final form is going to be an athletic lifestyle, right? So I was like, oh my God, I believe in this. And he wants to do it for the Black community. I believe in it. And so this morning we were just having a conversation and he was trying to tell me that, my mindset is, he didn't really just agree with my mindset, which I'm willing to make changes on myself because sometimes people can see you better than you can see yourself. So I was willing to take his advice, but I told him, give me the scriptures to where that back up what you're saying. And he had them. So instantly I'm getting even more turned on because I'm like, woo, this is sending me scriptures. And I was looking at the scriptures. I was like, oh, this is what he's talking about. And so I was like, okay. So then the conversation keeps going. And now he says some things that I disagree with. He was saying some things about how he has like non-believer friends, atheist friends. Because I asked him, I was like, who do you get your, spiritual advice from? Like, who do you talk about scripture with? And he starts to mention, he never says anything about Christians. And so I was telling him that, I was showing him scriptures that I'm not saying that you have to cut off your friends, but I'm saying that you do need to add some Christians into your spiritual circle, because he has a limited mindset. He's also very smart. He doesn't have a degree, but he's also very smart. So I'm presuming that he's one of the smartest in his, groups that he's in. Nothing wrong with that. But sometimes men like that don't know how to take direction from a woman. They really don't know how to take direction at all. They kind of have to fall and bump their head and figure it out that way. But anyway, I was like still calm, talking to him, trying to get through to him. But then he said something like, what the f- talking about or something. And I believe if you're going to cuss at me over text, you'll cuss at me in real life. And if you cuss at me in real life, I just don't know what I'll do. And I don't want to pass away because I know a man, and he's strong, he's buff as f- he can knock me out and I would pass away. That's why I like his strong, you know? But anyway, so I was like, anyway, I believe that if you'll cuss me out over text, then you'll cuss me out in real life. And that could lead to something crazy. So I'm like, don't talk to me like that. Like, don't ever in your life fix your mouth to talk to me like that ever again. And then he like blew it off. He was like, girl, please. I was like, oh, okay, do it again. This nigga's next message was, he said, get the out of here with that. Now, it doesn't sound like much, but for me, someone who grew up in a verbal household, I've been in a verbal relationship, emotionally, physically relationships, I do not tolerate that at 33. I've already tolerated it, and it doesn't end well for me. So I have to stay far away from that. And so I read the message because I keep my read receipts on, and I blocked him. And I instantly started crying because I just almost couldn't believe it. But then I did start thanking God as well, because it's so funny. Last night I was like, God don't hear my removal prayers. That's exactly what I said. And boom, the next day, God said, I'm going to show you something, so I know that it's going to take me some time to heal from that, because when I tell you he had the potential to be my husband, this man had the potential to be my husband. The potential. He was checking off all the boxes. And I'm talking about fine to me. I'm fine to him. Smart. Our goals are in alignment. He's a Christian. He's a decent father. He seemed like he was taking my direction and I was taking his. And then for him to throw it all away by talking to me after I told you that I don't want you to cross that boundary, I'm just like, no. And I didn't give him no heads up or nothing. The heads up was, don't talk to me like that ever again. That was the heads up. So I calmly blocked him, and I'm done with him. I'm done. I can't allow people like that in my space.
A lot of these modern women continue to say, oh, a man, the taxi cab theory, he'll get with a woman that, first woman that he comes across. And really, a lot of times it's not even that. To you, it might be because you're not paying attention to what I've been doing behind the scenes. It's only when I pop out with somebody that hey, this is the girl. This is the woman that he's been talking to. And you think it's the first one, but it's not really. I've been, like I said, behind the scenes trying to figure things out. And because I've been in a relationship with you, and after that relationship, I've taken time for myself. And I'll just be jumping out and paying for dinners here and there and be seeing with everybody. You think it's the first person that I come in contact with. It's not. It's not at all. It's just, I decide, okay, this is the woman. I know what I'm looking for. I know what I want. And this is what I'm going for. This woman adds to my peace. The woman before her was actually taken away from it.
Never beg a man for anything. Don't beg a man for his attention. Do not ask him to treat you right. Don't ask him to buy you flowers. Don't ask him for anything. Observe him instead. If he ain't doing it, just leave him. Leave him for a girl who's okay with him not doing all of those things. Because at the end of the day, you'll find a guy who will do all of those things for you without you having to ask for it. So please, do not ever beg a man for the bare minimum.
I better pay attention to me tonight. I'm so sick of this.
She's so mad.
No one is giving her any time. Guys are tired of you.
I told my husband I wanted a divorce. I can't be myself with my husband. And it's really confusing because I still don't know who I am.
This woman is so messed up. What is wrong with her? She's selfish and she's bored and she wants something else.
When you're 30 years old and you're single and you're like trying to put yourself out there and your friends are all married so that you're at least trying to meet new people.
You can see her panic starting. That panic is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So again, this is what happens to women who wait. How do you think this woman is actually feeling? Let's listen to what she has to say.
That homeless man talking about he deserves head in the morning and a home cooked meal and a girl who loves him is so common, even in men who are not homeless. A man will do 0 and expect 1,000. I'm sorry, because that man is reminding me of my father. My father has over 10 kids, has never had a car, has never had a driver's license, has nothing in his name to my knowledge, and has the nerve to feel entitled to everything of the woman that he's with. My mother was 17 and bought him a car. The cycle continues because he's charismatic, he's attractive. I mean, look at me, look at the material. But it's just frustrating that men can get away with what is so vile, and then they still want to be the superior. They still want to provide what exactly? Because even with a paycheck, I'm okay.
You get what I'm saying? So I think that's a whole journey in itself right there.
And honestly, if I could tell y'all and anybody watching, being a husband isn't just protecting and providing. It's being there emotionally too. It's consistently being there for the changes that your woman goes through, because we all go through changes as people, but it's supporting her as much as she supports you.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, we grew up thinking a man provides, protects, and chills. You know, they got to do everything else. And it's a really broken way to look at marriage, because it really puts a lot of the emotional strain on the woman, and it lets us kind of ignore the emotions. And I don't think that's okay.
And the moral of that story is that in order to be able to win at life, women need to start treating people, specifically men, like objects, credit cards. Ironically, women don't like it when they're treated like objects, but apparently it's okay as long as women do it.
My best friend's man says she's no longer allowed to talk to me. Okay, so I'm trying to plan an absolute banger of a weekend since I am single and I can, and she was like, I can't go. What? She was like, girl, I am so sorry, but my man said to me, girl, you're not going. I don't think that you should be around Megan anymore. I was like, hang on a second. He was totally fine with you hanging out with me when I had a man, but now all of a sudden, no? What the fuck is that?
That is a completely logical response to a man in a relationship with a woman whose friend wants to go out and do single stuff. Like, how is that so hard to comprehend? You literally just said yourself you're going to have a banger of a weekend because you can, and you're single. You weren't doing these things. I'm assuming you're doing host because you weren't doing these things when you had a man. And that's when you didn't have a problem with y'all hanging out, because you were doing things that people in relationships do, not single people. Now that you're single and you want to go out and you want to get up and you want to dance and you want to meet boys and do all this, it's like, why would he let his girl go out and do that? No, that's just going to end up with her being single like you. No thanks. And kudos to this woman, because y'all can say that this is controlling or whatever you want. You can scream it up and down. But this is a woman that clearly respects her man and does not want to ruin her relationship. And y'all really need to figure out who your actual friends are, because if your friends are trying to get you to go out and do single and trying to cause problems in your relationship, they're not really your friend.
I mean, I do have certifications at the end of the day, like,
you have what?
But that's besides the point.
You have what at the end of the day?
I have certifications.
What does that mean?
Like, for instance, as in aesthetics.
Say that again. You have what?
I have certifications.
Certifications?
Yes.
Certifications?
One of them being
certifications?
Yes. Yeah, certifications.
Certifications. Have you been to therapy?
No.
I would suggest it. God damn! You seem to be holding on a lot of negative energy from your mother and father's marriage that has none of your business. There's no reason at 23 years old that you should not be coachable, especially as a young lady who has certifications and no college degree. You need to be very coachable.
A lot of these modern women they're bad at, I don't want to say life in general, but just bad at a whole lot of things. Some of these modern women will get into things like situationships and do it just for the plot. I'm going on this date just for the plot. And fool around. I remember one woman was talking about how she went on a date with a man and really loved everything about him. He was a good guy, just clicking on all cylinders, sparks flying, the butterflies are flying. And she had a date with a man the next night or next couple of nights. And instead of saying, hey, listen, I know we had it, call him right then and there or text him right then, call him the next day. Hey, I know we had a date planned and I know you're probably not going to want to hear this, but, I've been seeing somebody else just recently and I don't know if it'll be best for us to continue to go on the date just because I don't want to waste your time. I know you don't want to waste your time. And I know for sure you don't want to waste it. You don't want nobody wasting your money. So I just want to give you a heads up and I just want to tell you thank you for inviting me out. But I want to respect your time and I want to respect your money and I respect who you are as a person and allow him to not take you out on that date. But the man took her out on a date and she just really didn't like him. Really didn't like him. And just really gave that man grief for no reason. And that's what modern women be doing. They be getting into relationships. They be doing things for the plot and ruining stuff instead of just going with the good guy in the first place. Why do you do that?